We have global certification. We have global certifications. When I say global, whenever we have to export the product to a certain country, that country comes to India, inspects the facility, we have to share the documents, it inspects the products, and then it allows the product to be imported in that country. Globally, we have all the necessary documentation for the markets that we operate in. Can somebody tell me how many countries there are in the world? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
How many countries are there in the world?
200 plus.
Really?
195.
195.
195. 92.
अरे बाबा, तुमच्याकडे गुगल आहे, आपल्याकडे वेळ आहे, बघा जरा.
195, sir.
Okay. We are present in more than 45 countries across the world. The total products that we export are over 92, and there are new registrations which are happening. The product range that we have, we operate in the advanced wound care, probiotics, antithrombotics, pre-surgical preparations, surgical preparations, orthopedics, plasma products, ophthalmics, and cephalosporins. We are amongst the few companies that have grown during the COVID period as well. I leave that background because out of these 130, 140 people that are attending this session, there are only 25 people who would have understood the technicalities of this presentation so far. Let's keep it at that. I want one by one. You are new to this course. Why are you doing this management course? Anybody?
Maybe it just adds like it's a kind of value addition course for us, and also it enhances the quality. The kind of it makes you completely ready for entering the corporate life.
Okay. So you want to get ready to get into the corporate life. What do you understand by corporate life? Aditi?
A place where many things are managed, taking it from the production, the raw materials, to the supply of supply of your product, maybe nationally or internationally both.
Okay. Anybody else? आप ये कोर्स क्यों कर रहे हो? हा कोर्स तुम्ही का करताय? हे एक असतं की माझ्या आई बाबांना मी घरी बसलेलं चालत नाही, काही नाही तर 2 वर्ष अजून अभ्यास करू. तो एक असू शकतो.
Sir, qualities like you have a good communication skill, you have a good confidence, you have a good leadership quality. These qualities are used for the many industries, but it requires some specific standardization method, and the management course provide you this standardization method for to fulfill this some small gaps, and that's why I'm doing the management course to achieve these things.
Okay. So again, you are saying that you will be optimized to what the industry needs.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
I want to be a perfect for an industry. That's why I'm doing the management course.
You want to be perfect for the industry, or you want to be a good employee. You want to be a good person for the company so that you can produce better. Anybody else?
Talking about MBA, it will make us a master of the specific field, whether it is marketing or HR or operations in management. So that's why we're doing it.
So what do you expect to do after the course? Why are you doing this? That my question is this.
We are doing it because we want to be the master. The MBA is for making us a master in the specific field. Whenever we are going in the company in any position, we want the specific and the all knowledge about it.
Okay. Can you give me the full form of MBA, Shwetambari? Yeah, sorry.
Master of Business Academics.
Can anybody else give me the full form of MBA, please?
Master of
Business
Business
Master of
Administration.
Business Administration.
One at a time. Aniket, yes, please.
Master of Business Administration.
Okay. Shwetambari, what is MBA?
Masters of Business Administration.
Perfect. World over, an MBA essentially means a course that enhances your entrepreneurial skills. When I mean an entrepreneurial skills, it is supposed to teach you all the aspects of a business cycle, right from the sourcing, or right from understanding the need to creating value and then making value for yourself. It is a value chain. On Saturday, when I was taking a session for some other college, most of them had the same opinion that MBA means we want to become entrepreneurs at a later stage. It is completely an outlook. Some people would want to hone their skills to become a good employee. But essentially, this course is meant for you to understand the complete business cycle and start a business on your own. Second, how many of you have done their pharmacy? 22 people out of this group, correct?
Yes, sir. Near about 22.
Correct. How many of you have thought of opening your own pharmacy outlet?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I looking for a wholesale pharmacy.
Correct. So you want to become an entrepreneur. तुम्हाला तुमचा स्वतःचा बिझनेस, आपको आपका खुद का बिजनेस खड़ा करना है, ठीक है? तो तुम्हारा आउटलुक ये होना चाहिए ये कोर्स का कि वो जो पूरा बिजनेस साइकिल होता है, जहां से मैं दवाइयां प्रोक्योर करके उसको कैसे पहुंचाऊं एंड कस्टमर तक,
Yes, sir.
उसमें मुझे क्या क्या स्किल्स होन करने हैं, वो ये कोर्स आपको करके देगा.
Yes, sir. Right.
आप समझ रहे हो? आप अगर ये सिर्फ डिग्री करने के लिए कर रहे हो या फिर आप ये सोच रहे हो कि मैं कहीं जाके एम्प्लॉयमेंट ले लूं, तो आप एक मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव, एरिया मैनेजर, जोनल मैनेजर, जनरल मैनेजर, सेल्स मैनेजर, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, सीईओ बनने तक ही रहोगे. मैं ये आपसे इसलिए कह रहा हूं क्योंकि जहां पे आप किसी के लिए एम्प्लॉयमेंट करते हो, यानी आप कहीं पे नौकरी करते हो, आप किसी और के लिए वैल्यू बना रहे हो.
Yes, sir.
जहां पे आप खुद के लिए काम करते हो, आप खुद के लिए वैल्यू बनाते हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आज के डेट में जो मैं कंपनी को टर्नओवर दे रहा हूं, उसका एक बहुत छोटा परसेंटेज मुझे सैलरी के रूप में आता है. क्यों? क्योंकि मैं सिर्फ एक छोटा सा फंक्शन उस कंपनी में कर रहा हूं और मैं उस कंपनी के लिए वो वैल्यू दे रहा हूं और कंपनी मुझे गारंटी कर रही है कि एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ मुझे एक सर्टेन परसेंटेज मिलेगा. It could be 1%, it could be 0.1% depending on my designation. अगर मैं खुद एंटरप्रेन्योर बन जाऊं, the percentage of value that I am creating will be much higher. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
you
sir.
should look primarily at this course to become an entrepreneur. My reason for telling you this is, like, I forget the name. He said that we can look at logistics, we can specialize in marketing, we can specialize in HR. Please note that the first year is common to everybody, where all the subjects are covered. Do not pay less attention to any subject, because you should look at this course at becoming an entrepreneur. So you should know all the wings of how an organization operates or how a company operates. Is this, am I making sense to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I hear only two people.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तुम्ही जोडांनी
Yes.
ओरडला ना तरी माझ्या लॅपटॉपचा स्पीकर छोटाच आहे रे. Now, in the larger scale of things, you are doing this course essentially to strengthen your strengths and to weaken your weaknesses. These lines have been said by Mr. Kamal Babbar. Who is Kamal Babbar? I'll let you know. By making this statement, what I'm trying to tell you is, all of you now are mature enough to understand your core strengths and also to understand where you are a little bit weak. This would possibly be the last 2 years where you are actively learning, and learning by paying money. So these 2 years, you should look at your strengths. You should identify your core strengths and start working to strengthen them. At the same time, you should also identify the areas that you lack, and you should start polishing them off so that they reduce. The reason is, right now, to do the course, you are paying money, correct? No company is going to hire you to train you and then pay you money. The day any company is going to hire you, they are paying you and you are expected to deliver results. There is nothing as learning on the job. There is only wisdom on the job. Is this understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now enough of this. Now let us look at the domestic pharma sector. There was a person in 2004 by the name of Mr. D.B. Banerjee, who made a statement to me saying that Indian pharma will easily cross 1 lakh crore by 2015. That time I was heading an ophthalmic division, 2004, and the total industry size was 2,000 crores. Ophthalmic was 62 crores. And I did not believe him. He had made a prediction in 15 years, the market size will become 1 lakh crores. Now you'll ask me, who is D.B. Banerjee? He is the same person who had said, the brightest and sharpest of minds forget, the faintest of ink remains. इसका मतलब आप में से अगर कोई बिना डायरी और पेन के बैठा है और ये सोच रहा है कि मैं ये रिकॉर्ड करके इसको रख लूंगा, तो इससे बेटर है कि आप उन पॉइंट्स को नोट डाउन कर लो, बिकॉज हाउएवर शार्प योर माइंड इज, हाउएवर गुड योर हार्ड डिस्क इज, योर हार्ड डिस्क विल क्रैश, योर माइंड विल फॉरगेट। लेकिन जो शाही आपने पेपर पे लिखी हुई है वो कभी जाएगी नहीं। He had also advised that observation and positive and ethical practices of others is useful information. This information, when analyzed, is intelligence. Wisdom is when you put this intelligence to use. अपने में से बहुत से लोग को सब पता होता है। By the time we are 10 years old, every child learns to judge. ये अच्छा है, ये खराब है, इनसे ऐसे बात करनी है, उनसे ऐसे बात करनी है। जैसे अपन बड़े होते हैं, we start observing things. हमें ये भी पता चलता है कि जो हम ऑब्जर्व कर रहे हैं ये बात सही है, ये बात गलत है, ये शॉर्टकट ले रहा है, ये चोर है, ये उचक्का है। हमें यह भी पता होता है कि ये सही कर रहा है या गलत कर रहा है। विजडम वही है, आप ये जानो कि क्या सही है और आप ये जानो कि उसको हमें इम्प्लीमेंट करना है। कई बार होता है अपने करियर में, अपने लाइफ में, जब हम कोई चीज शॉर्टकट करते हैं, गलत होता है, झूठ बोलते हैं, अपने को पता होता है कि हम गलत कर रहे हैं, but we tend to take that path. Those should be avoided, and that exactly is what is wisdom. So you've got two names now, Kamal Babbar and DB Banerjee. Let us look at the pharma market. Yes, Pradnya, you were saying something. Hello. I am audible now, Thorat sir?
Sir, yes. You're audible.
Okay. As of today, that is, this data is updated November. December figures will be received this month. Indian pharma market today is at 1,80,000 crores. I have seen this market grow from close to 4,000 crores. Amazing experience so far. If you see the growth, we are growing at over 18% month over month. Oh, sorry, 18% over last year. Last year, we were at 1,50,000 crores. This year, we have done 1,80,000 crores. And this is despite the markets and the hospitals being closed. If you see the top companies in India, please see this figure. MAC is moving annual total. Sun Pharmaceuticals is the biggest company. It is followed by Abbott, Cipla, Mankind, Alkem, Intas, Macleods, Torrent, and Aristo. Don't be bothered about these companies or the technical info. I'll give you a pointer here. Out of all these companies, only Abbott is a multinational. Keep this point noted. If we come to 11 to 20, we have the other major multinationals, GSK, Pfizer, Sanofi. If you again see these companies, Abbott with a star mark, GSK with a star mark, Pfizer and Sanofi with a star mark, this is because they have either purchased new brands or have purchased smaller Indian companies. Similarly, Indian companies have also consolidated their positions. But the point I'm trying to make here is, in India, it is the Indian companies which dominate. The biggest segment in pharmaceuticals is the cardiovascular segment. This has degrown because in the past 2 years, since there have been people have stopped moving around, the stress levels may be high, but the markets have come down because elective surgeries have gone down. The biggest segment that has grown is your respiratory and anti-infectives for obvious reasons. The biggest brand in India as of today is Mixtard, which is insulin. Again, if you see, it has actually degrown. When I say degrown over last year, it has reduced by 1% its market size, which is the most, in the past 2 years, which is the most talked about product that we see on TV or talk with our friends. Can anybody tell me? कोविड में सबसे पहली दवाई कौन सी लेते हैं?
पैरासिटामोल.
करेक्ट. ब्रांड नेम कौन सा है?
डोलो 650.
डोलो 650 डोलो
एवरीबॉडी डोलो. किसी एक बंदे ने क्रोसिन नहीं बोला. एनीवे, do you see Dolo here? Can you see Dolo?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It has grown by 54%. And do you know why Crocin is not here? Any idea why Crocin is not here?
$0 fees, brother.
Okay. I'll let you to know later if time permits. The other product which is growing at 44% is Calpol. This again is paracetamol. You are not saying Crocin because Crocin has taken the route of OTC. You can get Crocin even at a retail counter. Whereas Calpol and Dolo are prescription-based products. Products are the same. But doctors will very rarely prescribe Crocin because Crocin representatives are not met by the doctor. Calpol and Dolo are from the pharmaceutical promotion side. They are not OTC. OTC is over the counter. If you see the trends of MNCs, this is important because we'll be discussing this at a later stage. MNCs in India grew only at about 7%, whereas Indian companies registered a growth of 13%. So if you see over the past 1 year, Indian companies have grown at a rate which is more than double than that of the multinationals. There are many reasons to it. Now we saw the Indian market. Indian market, as you have seen, is dominated by Indian companies. And we have also seen during this period that India has also exported a lot of medicines during this COVID period to needy countries. I want to know from you, we have an impression that India is a major player in the pharmaceutical field. International में आपका क्या opinion है? I'm just asking you opinions. How big is India? Is India a major player?
Sir, generic medicines. We have
Correct.
medicines and lots of lecture for generic medicine. So we are easily provide this generic medicine to the international market.
तो अपन बड़े हैं प्लेयर जेनरिक्स में.
Yes, obviously.
ओके. जेनरिक का मतलब क्या है, शुभम बताओगे?
They are non-branded drug. We are talking about the Calpol. This is a standard drug and similar related to drug. We have a Calpol as a name of Calpel. This is a type. This type of drugs is considered as a generic brand name. Like we have a Cipladine and Betadine. These are the same content drug, but Cipladine is a generic and Betadine is Betadine is a branded drug. Means brand name, non-branded drug is a generic.
पूर्णतः गणलेला आहे शुभम तू.
Yes, sir.
मग बोल ना, मी गणलोय. कशाला ती अक्कल फाडायची जबरदस्ती. अच्छा, what you are talking is branded generics. Okay. Generic is also known as INN, that is International Non-Proprietary Nomenclature or International Non-Proprietary Name. I will come to that in a moment, but I want to know, he is right when he says that India is a big player in generic markets. Agreed. But are we a major player?
No, sir, I don't think so, because mainly we see the new innovations are done by Germany, USA, Japan, and all those countries. So there, I think we lack.
Okay. So we are not big in terms of innovation.
Yes.
So far, what we have been speaking is our gut feeling. Okay. As managers, we need to check our gut. Meaning, if we are under stress, never take decisions by what you feel. Numbers rather than text make things simpler to understand. Why? Because numbers lack emotions. For example, if I was to say India is an extremely big player or major player in the international world market, the environment is such today that none of you, even if you may have the numbers, will not oppose it. You understand why? Because text has emotions, numbers reflect. Let us go through the numbers. And here I will explain you the figures. So far, what we saw in the Indian figures was the actual sales that was being generated by these pharma companies. You understand revenue? The business that was being generated by the companies. Is that understood? What is a revenue? Any one person can answer so that I can continue.
Yes.
Okay. Now these are figures that have been, these are basically figures that are generated annually, and this has been generated last year, okay, 2020. Figures for 2021 will be generated now, and they will come out possibly next month. Is everybody seeing this slide?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If you see on the left side, it says total global revenues of the ethical pharmaceutical sector in 2021. is $1.44 trillion. This means that the pharma market generated a business, that is sales, of $1.44 trillion. And what is the value of this pharma companies in the world? It is $7 trillion. Now, what happens, I'll tell you. It is very difficult when we go to evaluate international markets. For example, let's say Virco in India is supplying a product to another company known as Mega, which is supplying the same product to a market, let's say in Thailand or Myanmar. So we have generated a revenue with Mega, and with the same product, Mega has generated a revenue in Myanmar, and with the same product, Mega has generated a revenue in Thailand. And then the revenue that is generated in Thailand is made with Thai currency, and the revenue that is made in Myanmar is made in the Myanmar currency. So it becomes very difficult to generate the actual sales figures in terms of international business. So what the figures are compiled are the value of these companies. How are values calculated? By the share values. So for example, Virco has no share in the market. Virco is a private company. We are a $1 billion company, but we are not listed on the share market. So we can't be valuated. It's like a muthi. When it's opened, the real value will be understood. Till that time, wo muthi hai lakh bhar ki. So what we are going to now see figures are going to be in terms of the value of the company. I'll give you a simple example. All of us know what is the value of who is the richest man on earth right now? Can somebody tell me who is the richest man on earth?
Elon Musk.
Okay, let's take Elon Musk. Do you really think that he's got all the billions that he is supposed to have?
$275 billion.
वेरी गुड. लेकिन वो उतना पैसा उसके पास है कि उसकी वैल्यू इतनी है?
No, sir. No, sir.
वो उसकी वैल्यू है क्योंकि वो उस कंपनी के शेयर रखता है अपने पास में. जिस दिन वो शेयर बेच देगा तब उसके पास वो पैसा आएगा, और जब वो शेयर बेचने लगेगा अगर उसका प्राइस गिर गया तो उसका पैसा भी कम हो जाएगा. सिमिलरली ही मे हैव लेट्स से 1 or 2 बिलियन, लेकिन उसकी वैल्यू जो है वो 350 बिलियन की है. From 2003 to 2021, the pharma sector has tripled, meaning it has multiplied itself by 3 times, from 2 crores to 7 crores. Correct. From 2 trillion to 7 trillion. This is a mind-boggling figure. Who are the major contributors? Can you see India?
Yes, sir. India is
Yes, sir.
Correct. India is at the 9th position. In 2011, when these markets had just started, international markets had just started, We were somewhere in 21. So we have grown. But if you see the market share, we are at 24%. Sorry, we are at 2.4%. Now you have to please note that in 2015, we were at 2.6%. The largest value share of pharmaceuticals globally is 40% by America. And do you see China?
Well,
Correct. Do you know the population of Switzerland?
7 point.
Check. How much?
7.7%.
करेक्ट. अपने पास गूगल है ना, रखो रेडी साइड में. This is the value share. 7% of pharma is provided by Switzerland, which has a population of less than 0.8% of the world. If we come to specific regions, I am happy to say that Mumbai, India, in terms of pharma value, stands at number 18th in the world. What this slide essentially tells you is, if you want to enter the pharmaceutical market or enter the pharmaceutical segment, these are the cities that you must go and camp, because these are the places where the maximum pharma value is being generated. In India or in the world, at number 18 is Mumbai, India. Mumbai, India, at a global market share of pharmaceuticals, is generating 1.1%. What was India's global contribution? 2.4%. So of this 2.4%, half of it is being generated by Bombay alone. The other markets that are generating value for the world in India are Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, and Ahmedabad. These are the major hubs, major other hubs. But the biggest hub remains Mumbai. Pune also has a very good pharma industry base. If you come to biotech, this is an emerging sector. India is way down. And as somebody has rightly said, we don't have R&D, and technology requires research and development. So we are way down. We are basically nowhere. United States pays the maximum amount for pharma research. If you see, they are at 60%. Biotech companies, इनके आपने नाम भी नहीं सुने होंगे. Novavax, you must have heard because of this COVID vaccine. But we are nowhere. You may not have heard of these companies because these companies are into biotech. They are not into marketing. ये लोग क्या करते हैं? ये लोग प्रोसेस डेवलप करते हैं या फिर नया मॉलिक्यूल डेवलप करते हैं और उसको बड़े कंपनी को बेच के अपना रिसर्च चालू रखते हैं. They don't come into the market. Now, somebody had said branded products. What we understand by a brand is something that is owned by a company. These are the top 75 companies in the world are based on branding. Can you please tell me one Indian company here? and we are talking of the top 75 companies, we are nowhere. Now, as Shubham had rightly said, generic. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 companies in the top 28 are Indian companies. INN. This is known as generics, international non-proprietary name. I think we deserve a huge clap on this. Having 14 companies in the top 28 is a big achievement. Can we have a loud clap for this? You can unmute yourself. I take it that people who are muted have also clapped. Please understand, these are the companies that are going to be your future employers. Now, when I say value and generations, I take it that there would be some accounts people also here. Value is the share value or what the market is evaluating these companies to be. And revenue is the sales that they have generated. So for example, Viatris, which is a wing of Pfizer, is valued at 40 billion and its annual revenues are 16 billion. Usually it is about 2.6 times valuation market value. And if your sales are 100 rupees, then normally the market will properly evaluate to you for about 300 rupees. So that's the valuation. If you see Sun Pharma, its revenues are 4.8 billion and its valuation is 25 billion. That means the market expects this company to at least double in size quickly. However, since it's already valuated at a large margin and उसकी जो value वो ज़्यादा बना दी गई है, इसके share value बहुत ऊपर हैं. इसी के आप अगर contrast में Aurobindo देखते हो, Aurobindo is a competitor of us. It is based out of Hyderabad and it's an excellent company, majorly into exports. Aurobindo का revenue है 3.3 billion और उसका market valuation है 5.3 billion. बड़ा सिंपल सा मैं आपको एक कैलकुलेशन बता रहा हूं. अगर 2.5 गुना मार्केट वैल्यूएशन होना चाहिए सेल्स का, तो 3.3 बिलियन शुड बी अबाउट 8 बिलियन मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन. इट इज ओनली 5.3 बिलियन. तो अगर आपको किसी को लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए शेयर खरीदने हैं तो ये ऑरोबिंदो का शेयर इमीडिएटली खरीद लीजिए. इसका वैल्यूएशन 5.3 बिलियन से जल्दी ही एक आध साल में 8 बिलियन हो जाएगा. The value of the share can easily fetch you close to 15 to 20% returns. If you see any other Indian company, let's say Dr. Reddy's, you must have heard of it, DRL. इसका revenue है 2.7 billion. यानी इनका जो business size है, जो business ये लोग कर रहे हैं, वो 2.7 billion का है. इनका market valuation 10.4 billion है. जबकि औरोबिंदो जो 3.3 बिलियन कर रहा है, उसका मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन सिर्फ 5.3 है. It is quite likely कि some people from Sun and Dr. Reddy's will sell their share or will sell their part of the company from those companies and invest in Aurobindo. आप समझ रहे हो?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is how the company valuations, the revenue generations, and the share values are decided. If you see, Amneal right now has a sales of 2.1 billion and has got a market capitalization of 3.5 billion. Amneal today is expected to generate a share value percentage of over 1000%. You can check the Google websites for news. They lost out because they sold a few market products to Pfizer. But coming back to the slide, these are known as generics. What are generics? आप लोग जब डॉक्टर के पास जाते हो तो दो तरीके की दवाइयां मिलती हैं. एक होता है आपको डॉक्टर प्रिस्क्रिप्शन लिखता है जो आप जाके फार्मेसी से खरीदते हो. इंडिया में जो आप दवाई खरीदते हो, फॉर एग्जांपल डोलो है या कैलपॉल है या क्रोसिन है, इन्हें ब्रांडेड जेनेरिक्स बोलते हैं, जहां पे आप वो ब्रांड को लेके वो जेनेरिक प्रोडक्ट खरीदते हो. पैरासिटामोल जो इंग्रेडिएंट है उसको INN बोलते हैं या उसको जेनेरिक बोलते हैं. एक मार्केट होता है जहां पे डॉक्टर आपको एक पुड़ी में दवाइयां डाल के देता है. आप में से किसी ने एक्सपीरियंस किया है वो, जब डॉक्टर आपको एक पैकेट में दवाइयां डाल के देता है, बोलता है हरी वाली सुबह खाना, लाल वाली 3 बार लेनी है, ये कैप्सूल 2 बार ले.
वो सबके लिए है सर.
हाँ जी,
तो डॉक्टर मतलब प्रॉब्लम कोई भी हो, गोली.
मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रही है वैभव आपकी.
आयुर्वेदिक दवाई बोल के देते हैं सर.
वो अलग हुआ, वो हर्बल मार्केट उसको कहलाता है, वो अल्टरनेटिव मार्केट भी कहलाता है. लेकिन जैसे ये जो दवाइयां आती है कैप्सूल्स, गोलियां, उनको जेनेरिक कहा जाता है. इंडिया में उसका चलन आप टियर 2, टियर 3 या छोटे टाउन्स में देखोगे. बड़े टाउन्स में अभी यूजुअली डॉक्टर्स. जी स्नेहल बोलिए.
हाँ सर, दिया जाता है वो BMS डॉक्टर वगैरह रूरल एरिया में.
करेक्ट, उसको जेनेरिक मार्केट कहते हैं. India is very big in the generic markets. For example, now Sun Pharma has a huge market in Latin America and Americas. वहां पे ये लोग जो पेटेंटेड ड्रग होता है उसका जेनेरिक फॉर्म करके बेचते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अभी लेट्स से एलेग्रा है, ठीक है, एलेग्रा या फेक्सोफेनिडीन है, हेक्स्ट का प्रोडक्ट है, एवेंटिस का. ये ऑफ पेटेंट हो गया है. तो सन फार्मा, डॉक्टर रेड्डीज, सिप्ला जो है, ये ब्रांड नहीं, ये एलेग्रा का जो जेनरिक है, दैट इज योर फेक्सोफेनिडीन, उसको एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं पैकेट्स में. अमेरिका में डिस्पेंस किए जाते हैं दवाइयाँ, वो स्ट्रिप्स में नहीं आती हैं, डब्बे में आपको लेबल करके दिए जाते हैं. एंड इट इज बेसिकली बाय अ जेनरिक नेम, दैट इज योर प्लेन जेनरिक्स. इस मार्केट में 14 कंपनीज 28 में से इंडिया की हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल सिप्ला जो है HIV के बहुत मात्रा में ड्रग्स, ओरिजिनेटर जो प्रोडक्ट है उसका जो जेनरिक बेसिक दवाई जो है वो बना के बिना ब्रांड के अक्रॉस अफ्रीका बेचता है. एडवांटेज क्या होता है मार्केट को? 100 रुपए की दवाई 10 रुपए में मिलती है, क्योंकि सिप्ला और डॉक्टर रेड्डीज ने उस पर कोई R&D तो किया है नहीं. उन्होंने वो जेनरिक प्रोडक्ट लिया है जो ऑफ पेटेंट हो गया है और उसको सस्ते दाम में मार्केट में बेचा है. This is plain generics. Then there's a market known as branded generics. Branded generic जिसमें हम लोग as Virco भी हैं. India is basically branded generics. For example, जो डोलो आप कह रहे हो, ये ब्रांडेड जेनेरिक है पैरासिटामोल का। अगर आप ब्रांडेड जेनेरिक्स ग्लोबली देखते हो तो इसमें ये जो 14 कंपनीज हैं, कोई भी ब्रांड लॉन्च करने के लिए आपको इन्वेस्ट भी करना पड़ता है। वहां पे डॉक्टर को बताना पड़ता है कि आप हमारे प्रोडक्ट को लिखिए, ना कि हमारे प्रोडक्ट को डिस्पेंस कीजिए। इन ब्रांडेड जेनेरिक्स वी हैव 1, 2, 3. We have 3 Indian companies in the top 28. Are you understanding the difference?
Yes, sir.
So, in branded generics, और इसके कारण बहुत वेरिड हैं. Maybe in some other session, I'll be able to elaborate. But as of now, even serum for that matter is into branded generics. ये टेक्नोलॉजी बाहर से आती है, हम उसको रेप्लिकेट करके वो दवाइयां बाहर भेजते हैं. एंड हेल्थ केयर में हम प्लीज एनिमल्स को ना भूलें. We have one Indian company. I was gladly surprised, Sequent Scientific at number 20 amongst the top 28 veterinary healthcare companies. Again, if you see, it is valued at, it has a business of 185 million and has a valuation of 653 million. It has its own manufacturing and is based out of Mumbai, sorry. In terms of players globally, private. By private, I mean companies which don't have their shares. We have only one company, which is Intas Pharma. And I have worked for this company. So amongst the top 20 companies, private companies which are not listed, we have one company in terms of Intas. So if Intas were to go into the market or sell their shares, its current valuation is 9.2 billion. इनका एक्चुअल सेल है 1.8 बिलियन. तो अगर वो कंपनी बोलती है कि हमें नया प्लांट डालना है और इसके लिए हमें मार्केट से पैसा चाहिए है, तो जब वो लिस्ट करेंगे तो उनका एक्चुअल शेयर 1.2 बिलियन के हिसाब से बनेगा, लेकिन उसका जो वैल्यू है वो 9.2 बिलियन होगा. इट इज मच बेटर देन टेकिंग अ लोन. Just to give you a small idea of the global market, I'm not going into all countries, but you see China is our biggest enemy. So, and China in terms of population is comparable. We have almost the same population now. Look at the pharma sector. The last company, that is the 40th company that they have, it has a value, it is valuated at 5.2 billion with a revenue of 11 billion. I am going to share these slides as well as the information with Thorat sir, or you can email me, I'll send you the information. Let's come to India. China, where is this? Where did I? China, please again. The 40th company has got a valuation of 5.2 billion with a revenue of 11 billion. India. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Having some issues with my computer. The 40th company is at 77 million.
So your voice is not clear.
Now,
Your voice is not clear.
Okay, now is it okay?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in India, we are at number 40. Globally, the rank is 934 with 499 million and a revenue of 77 million. So you see the disparity? Let us see, go by this global ranks. Can you see this global ranks?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's see China. None of that 40 companies are beyond the rank 170. Can you see this? They start from global 24th position and end at 167th position. India, we start from number 44, that's Sun Pharma, and we end at 934. So can you see the disparity?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what that means is we have got tremendous scope for growth. And Indian pharma sector is, I would still say, still maturing. We are not a mature industry at all. This industry is still being run by people who started working when the industry in India was just born. Our industry took off in the 1990s. So people who joined the pharmaceutical industry, let's say in the 80s or 90s, are possibly at the top or at the creamiest positions today in the Indian pharma market. So once this line will go, the newer generation will come up, it is only bound to grow. So we are still not mature in terms of an industry. Plus, when you are small, the only thing that you can do is grow. Correct, no?
Yes, sir.
When you're small, you can only grow. It is the larger markets like US, UK, Sweden, which have possibly matured. So they are getting threatened. You know what? In terms of international markets, these data are not showing what Bangladesh is doing. Today, for penny to penny or rupee to rupee, बांग्लादेश बेहतरीन टक्कर दे रहा है इंडिया को, बेहतरीन इन टर्म्स ऑफ इंटरनेशनल मार्केट्स. और उसके कारण मैं आपको आगे बताऊंगा. यहां तक have I been able to give you a picture of what the domestic market is and what the international market is?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody has any queries? They can just put their hands up, meaning they can raise their hands. Okay, so with this, now we come to that important point. The career, what are your options? In the year 2015, I had just come into the international markets, and there was one late Mr. T.S. Balasubramanian, a Tamil Brahmin. It was my first foray into international. So far, I was in the domestic market, and he said, and I was not too keen on doing international. He said the Indian pharma industry is on a good growth path and is likely to be in the top 10 global markets in value term by 2020. And that time, 2014, 2015, we were amongst the top 28. We are 28 in the top, in the list of countries. In the last 5 years, we have come amongst the top 10. So you understand how we are growing. The pharma industry is more stable. You know, फार्मा अगर आप देखते हो तो ऐसा नहीं होगा कि सडनली, अब ये कोविड के वजह से हुआ, खैर कुछ दवाइयों का सडन डिमांड बढ़ा, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता है कि सडनली आपने 50% का ग्रोथ ले लिया, 30% का ग्रोथ ले लिया, या सडनली 50% डिग्रो कर लिया। नहीं, ये स्टेबल मार्केट है। अगर ये टोटल जो मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स कहते हैं, ये तकरीबन 11 लाख रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स हैं इंडिया में। ये सडनली ओवरनाइट 20 लाख नहीं होंगे, ये हर साल 10% 20% ऐड होंगे। सो तकरीबन फील्ड में 1 लाख ऐड होगा, 50,000 कम होगा, बिल्कुल स्टेबल है। आप अगर सेल्स में ज्वाइन करते हो तो आपसे ये एक्सपेक्ट नहीं होता है कि आप 100% ग्रोथ दो। ये 10%, 12%, 15% पे ग्रोथ हर साल रहता है, डीग्रो नॉर्मली नहीं होता है। छोटी मोटी कंपनियां आते रहती हैं, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड। आपको यहाँ पे इंडिपेंडेंट स्मॉल ऑपरेटर्स, जिसे हम मर्चेंट एक्सपोर्टर्स बोलते हैं, ये भी बहुत सारे हैं। अगर आप एक बड़े ग्लोबल चेन हो, फॉर एग्जांपल अभी ग्लोबल फार्मास्यूटिकल्स हो, ग्लोबल फार्मा हो गया, या मेडलाइफ हो गया, अपोलो फार्मेसी हो गया, अगर आपका डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेटवर्क बड़ा है, अक्रॉस कंट्रीज हैं, तो इंडिया के लाइसेंसिंग के हिसाब से आप अपने खुद के ब्रांड्स भी लॉन्च कर सकते हो, जिसे हम जेनेरिक्स बोलते हैं। ये जो छोटी कंपनीज हैं, अगर इनके एक दो ब्रांड्स बड़े हो जाते हैं, तो बड़ी कंपनीज आर नाउअडेज लिटरली बाइंग आउट द स्मॉलर कंपनीज बिकॉज दे गेट थ्रेटन्ड। अगर फाइजर है या फिर सन फार्मा है, ये एक छोटी मोटी कंपनीज को परचेज करना चालू कर देते हैं। आपको पता होगा अवेंटी एक ऑप्थेल्मिक, देयर वाज अ कंपनी known as Allergan. It was the biggest ophthalmic company in the world, and Aventis simply purchased it because Aventis size was 80% larger than Allergan. Nicholas, Wokhard, Cipla, they have all Piramals, the elder pharmaceuticals, they have all sold off their profitable parts just to encash it. So mergers and acquisitions will happen. But the good thing in India is these mergers and acquisitions are happening by Indian companies themselves. आपने देखा multinationals are not able to flex their muscles in India so far. तो टॉप 10 कंपनीज में सिर्फ एक ही कंपनी थी इंडिया में जो मल्टीनेशनल है, और वो भी एबट, जिसने निकोलस का खरीदा, विच वाज एन इंडियन कंपनी। द सेम टी.एस. बालासुब्रमण्यन has said that Indian pharmaceutical industry is a successful story, providing employment for millions and ensuring that essential drugs at affordable prices are available to the vast population of this subcontinent. This is self-explanatory. There are some challenges in this industry, and why I am going to elaborate on this is because जहां पे challenges होते हैं, वहां पे employees को solutions चाहिए होते हैं, और वो solutions के लिए उनको manpower चाहिए होता है. So even if these are challenges, these are also opportunity areas for you. There is, in terms of domestic marketing, there is an introduction of uniform code of pharmaceutical marketing practices. What this has done is, आप लोगों ने सुना होगा कि मेडिकल फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज डॉक्टर्स को पैसा देते हैं, सुना है ना आपने, उनका प्रोडक्ट लिखने के लिए?
Yes, sir.
ओके, आप मुझे बताइए, आई एम जस्ट होगा, आई एम श्योर द मनी इज बीइंग गिवन. Does that change? To be honest, does it really change the outcome of the disease? If a doctor is getting money for a particular brand that he prescribes, Does it really change the outcome of the disease or change the outcome of the patient? This is
So I
something
don't-
that, yeah. Yes, Aditi.
I don't think it changes like the outcomes.
So how does that? See, please understand, there are two things which you have to be very clear about. Moral standards are common across countries, meaning you cannot, something like you cannot use bad words in front of children. Okay, you cannot beat anybody, you cannot get physical, you cannot provide physical harm to anybody, or you cannot stab anybody in the back. These are moral standards which are similar everywhere. We are not talking of moral standards here. We are talking of ethics. And a doctor getting a part of the profit earned by the pharmaceutical company, is it ethical? I am no person to judge. Trust me, I am no person to judge. But there is an introduction of a uniform code of pharmaceutical market. Okay, government says that these are not the guidelines. It's not a guideline. It is a rule that you can only do this. और किसी कंपनी में और किसी इंडस्ट्री में, लेट्स से ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री, ठीक है, अगर गवर्नमेंट बोलेगी कि आप 10% से ज्यादा डिस्काउंट नहीं दे सकते, या आप जो क्या कहते हैं कार बेच रहे हो उसमें डिक्की में आप एडिशनल स्टेपनी नहीं लगा सकते हो, या आप क्या कहते हैं ओके, और इन सिंपलर टर्म्स आप अपने शोरूम में कस्टमर को चाय कॉफी नहीं पिला सकते. So what you have done is, all the companies can only now follow one set of marketing guidelines. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
So that is one. You can go on the web and see those guidelines, see those rules, not guidelines. See, now, for example, इनके डॉक्टर्स की कंपनीज मीटिंग्स करवाते हैं. वो मीटिंग्स में क्या होता है, आई हैव बीन पार्ट ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री, आई एम अवेयर. बट व्हेन यू यूनिफॉर्मली से दैट no meetings will be funded by companies. Now, for example, I have a new product, or I am giving a new, let's say, a stent. You'll understand that better. आपको पता है हार्ट में जब ऑपरेट करते हैं तो एक स्प्रिंग जैसा प्रोडक्ट लगाते हैं, which is known as a stent, to open the block. Okay. Now, if I have launched a new stent which has to be installed in a particular way, it becomes easier for me to call all the doctors to a common location, get an expert, and demonstrate how that stent works. Now, if I am not allowed to do it, saying that I am corrupting the doctors because I am calling them to a good hotel, feeding them and giving them a demonstration of the product or educating them about the product, then I am not reaching my masses. Then why will I launch the stent? Whoever has understood, good. If you have not understood, leave it. Second, this is important to you, delays in clinical trial approvals. इंडिया में जैसे शुभम ने बताया, पेटेंटेड प्रोडक्ट्स या नए प्रोडक्ट्स नहीं है, सब जेनरिक्स हैं. उसका कारण है इंडिया में अभी भी क्लिनिकल ट्रायल करने कैसे हैं उसके स्टैंडर्ड्स ले डाउन नहीं हुए हैं. आपने बीच में सुना होगा, आई डोंट नॉट नो, अभी एक नया ये आया है सीरियल ह्यूमन करके. इट्स अ वेब सीरीज ह्यूमन which is based on clinical trials. It is based on clinical trials. I have not seen it. I have just got the information yesterday. In India, there are no fixed regulations or guidelines laid down for clinical trials. The same thing, we still don't have. I have not seen it, good man. But India is a very big market for clinical trials because we have the necessary population and educated English-speaking population, but we have not been able to get the guidelines yet cleared from the government. There are uncertainties over the foreign direct investment policies. So nobody wants to invest in India. आपको कोई भी नया प्रोडक्ट अगर लॉन्च करना है तो उसके लिए आपको फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट लगेगा क्योंकि इन्वेस्टमेंट्स ह्यूज होते हैं. थर्ड, देयर इज कंपल्सरी लाइसेंसिंग. Very importantly, uncertainty from DPCO and NLEM. DPCO is Drug Price Control Order and NLEM is a national list of essential medicines. आप लोगों ने पेपर में आप लोग पढ़ते होंगे गवर्नमेंट ने ये पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट का प्राइस फिक्स कर दिया है, इससे ज्यादा में नहीं बेच सकते. ये पढ़ा है ना आपने हर बार न्यूज में.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
एंड गवर्नमेंट्स यूज इट एज अ प्रोपेगेंडा. हमने देखो डायबिटिक मेडिसिन एसेंशियल मेडिसिन कर दिया. करेक्ट. रिपरकशन, आई टेल यू व्हाट रिपरकशंस हैपन. इंडिया में सबसे सस्ती दवाइयां मिलती हैं, पीरियड. इंडिया से सस्ती दवाइयां ना कहीं बनती हैं और ना कहीं बिकती हैं. उसके बावजूद the pharmaceutical sector is literally a punching bag for the government. And the funny part is the governments take credit for it. I'll tell you what happens in DPCO. ब्लड प्रेशर की मेडिसिन है, ठीक है. जो इंटरनेशनल दवाई है वो तकरीबन 40 रुपए की एक गोली मिलती है. इंडिया की तकरीबन 8 रुपए की गोली मिलती है. अगर आप फर्दर जाओगे तो कुछ कंपनियां उसको छोटी मोटी 4-5 रुपए में भी बेचती होंगी. सडनली गवर्नमेंट क्या करता है, एक प्राइस कंट्रोल ऑर्डर लेके आता है कि ये दवाई आप 12 रुपया या 15 रुपए से ज्यादा नहीं बेच सकते. देयर इज अ सेंसिबल वर्किंग टू इट, ठीक है, बट द इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इज इन अ नॉनसेंसिकल मैनर. एंड देन जो 40 रुपए की गोली है वो 12 रुपए में बिकने लगती है और जो 8 रुपए की गोली है वो भी 12 रुपए में बिकने लगती है. 40 रुपए की जो गोली होती है वो अच्छे बड़े फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनी की होती है जिसके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को आप टाई में देखोगे, जिनकी ट्रेनिंग होती है और जो मीटिंग्स और एजुकेशंस करते हैं. और जो 8 रुपए की गोली होती है रेगुलर सेल्स फोर्स होता है जहां पे ये सेटिंग्स वाला सिस्टम होता है. एक छोटा सा मैं आपको पेशेंट का रिपरकशन में आपको बताता हूं. स्टेंट्स हैं, ठीक है. जो स्टेंट्स की कीमतें 10,000 से लेके 3 लाख रुपए तक एक स्टेंट आता है. गवर्नमेंट ने 3 या 4 साल पहले स्टेंट्स की प्राइस फिक्स कर दी. जो सादे स्टेंट्स हैं वो 15,000 में बिकेंगे और जो दवाई वाले स्टेंट्स हैं वो 35,000 में बिकेंगे, ठीक है. इसका रिपरकशन ये हुआ, जो 2 लाख और 1.5 लाख रुपए के जो स्टेंट्स थे वो मार्केट से हट गए, वो कंपनियों ने लाए ही नहीं. आपको अगर याद होगा तो अपने उस समय पासवान साहब हेल्थ मिनिस्टर थे, वो यूएस गए स्टेंट लगवाने के लिए क्योंकि इंडिया में वो स्टेंट्स अवेलेबल नहीं थे और उन्होंने ही वो ऑर्डर लाया था. जो सस्ते स्टेंट्स थे जो 8 या 10,000 रुपए के मिल रहे थे वो सारे के सारे 15,000 के हो गए. जो 20-25 हजार रुपए वाले थे वो भी 15,000 के हो गए और जो नए स्टेंट्स थे, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी वाले स्टेंट्स थे, वो इंडियन मार्केट से गायब हो गए. अब वही स्टेंट जो इंडिया में 2 लाख के मिल रहे थे वो केस बाय केस इंपोर्ट होते हैं 3 लाख और 4 लाख रुपए बाहर के मार्केट से. आप समझे ये रूल का क्या एंड रिजल्ट हो गया?
Yes, sir.
We lost the choice. अगर 15 रुपए में 15,000 में चाहिए तो यही है, आप लगवा लीजिए. आप में से हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर वैक्सीनेटेड? Okay, 2 plus 4, 10. Well. For free. Okay. Just a quite a good number have got vaccinated for free. I'm
Sir, your
happy.
voice is not clear.
Vaccinated for free.
So your voice is breaking.
I'm sorry.
आवाज ब्रेक होतोय सर तुमचा. हॅलो सर, आवाज येत नाहीये. थोडं पुढं थोडं मूव होऊन जर क्लोज या तुमच्या स्पीकरच्या. Sir, you are not audible.
Am I audible now? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So anyway, so that is a DPCO. Now, please understand that if I am a pharma company who is selling a certain product, essential product, for let's say 10 rupees, I really do not know. After 2 months, suddenly the government will come and say, no, instead of 10 rupees, you will have to sell this product for 6 rupees. Would I want to work in that environment as a marketer? This is an open question. You think over it. Similarly, the national list of essential medicines. Now, this has happened on 10th of January. We are an export-based division, okay? And we have one particular product, which is known as immunoglobulin. हमारे पास orders हैं, ठीक है? Orders worth 2 crores Indian rupees. And suddenly, and this order is getting executed, यानी वो products ready हैं, वो customer के पास जा रहे हैं. और 10 तारीख को ऑर्डर आता है कि ये प्रोडक्ट हमारा एसेंशियल प्रोडक्ट है एंड एक्सपोर्ट्स आर रिस्ट्रिक्टेड. अब बताइए हम क्या करें? या तो आप नोटिस दीजिए 1-2 महीने का. आपने सुबह नोटिस निकाला कि आज शाम से ये प्रोडक्ट एक्सपोर्ट नहीं होगा. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
And this has happened on 10th of January. The order was worth 55 lakhs. हमारे पास पैसा आ गया है, स्टॉक्स उनके पास जा रहा है और उसी दिन ये ऑर्डर आती है.
Hello, sir.
जी.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, I want to ask that right now immunoglobulin is gayab from market. What is the reason for that? It is only supplied in hospital.
Correct.
What is the reason for that?
No, there is an order by the government that since the wave is coming, the hospitals have to keep a certain stock of essential products like an immunoglobulin, enoxaparin, and fondaparinux. And of course, the oral medicines like vitamin C and paracetamols.
Right.
So where a hospital was supposed to stock, let's say, for emergency use 10 or 20 units of IVIG, it is now to stock close to 300 and 400 units.
Okay.
Second, due to this corona wave, the availability of blood, which is the basic source of plasma, which is the raw material for IVIG, is in short supply.
Okay.
There are no camps of blood donations that are happening. So on one side, the raw material is getting squeezed, and on the other side, due to the guidelines, the uptake has increased. So it is government who's procuring it.
Okay. Actually, sir, I heard that company retain their stock. So that's why I asked.
No, no. We are in absolute short of stock.
Okay, no issue, sir. Thank you.
Absolute short of stocks. I think the complete production cycle is booked for the next 4 or 5 months.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
The usage of IVIG in COVID is doubtful. Okay. Or the benefits of just a side information.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does it help? We do not know. The same is the case with remdesivir or all the MABs that are there in the market. There is a shorter brand life cycle. This you will learn what is a life cycle at a later stage. But in India, if a certain product is doing well, it doesn't take time for copycats to come out. And the funny part is, the copycats are the same products, meaning the same manufacturer is manufacturing the same product but branding it different. So for example, your Calpol will be manufactured in the same factory, let's say from where Lotus Pol is getting manufactured. They would be the same product, but being marketed by 2 different companies. Unprecedented employees attrition rate. This I will tell you why later. And there are a lot of mushrooming regional and local players. For example, I was seeing the figures last month. Pune in itself has over 38 marketing companies, pharma marketing companies. 38. We have companies in Aurangabad, we have companies in Nasik, we have companies in Ahmedabad, no, in Nagpur. Why? In fact, there are 2 companies based out of Jalgaon. So these are the major challenges that are being faced by the industry. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what are the conventional opportunities in marketing? During my time when I was doing MBA, sales and marketing had about 80% of the students and 20% were divided amongst accounts, logistics and HR. But now what I hear is many people take up accounts as well. But conventional options for management graduates are sales and marketing, the manufacturing, that is you get into unit management, you can get into quality control, quality assurances, you can get into marketing department, medical departments, training and development, hospital management. Hospital management is a absolutely new mushrooming, it's not new, but a mushrooming segment today, both for private as well as government organizations. You can get into logistics, that is supply chain. Community services are available for hygiene and sanitation. For example, facilities. आपको hospital को disinfect करना है. You have to disinfect the pharmacy stores. You have to take contracts for disinfecting the OTs. You can get into government jobs like a drug inspector or as a government analyst for data. R&D laboratories require you get into formulation development, product development, supply chain management, exports, and the last is regulatory affairs. Any questions on this? These are absolutely conventional options.
Sir, I am doing a import, export, international marketing. Okay. Even I listen some international marketing, but selling international in these terms, maybe I'm not heard from anyone. So why their terms are not using selling international marketing?
I have not understood the question.
मीन्स मुझे ये बोलना है कि सर कि हम सेलिंग इंटरनेशनल मार्केटिंग ये टर्म यूज क्यों नहीं करते, जैसे मतलब आपने भी ये जो फॉर्मेट दिया है उसमें भी ये टर्म कहीं आ रही है, तो ये टर्मिनोलॉजी होती है या नहीं होती है?
एक टर्म होता है सेल्स, ठीक है, और एक होता है मार्केटिंग.
यस.
Sales is a subset of the larger marketing process. Marketing starts from need identification to generating value for yourself. Sales is that part जहां पे आप आपका प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हो और उसके अगेंस्ट में पैसा ले रहे हो. Sales is a transaction. ये आप समझ रहे हो शुभम?
सर
ठीक है, तो आप जो कह रहे हो सेल्स इंटरनेशनल मार्केटिंग या सेलिंग इंटरनेशनल मार्केटिंग में नहीं समझ पा रहा हूँ.
हम डायरेक्टली इंटरनेशनली सेल कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते?
नहीं कर सकते.
That's why we are using export and import.
करेक्ट.
ओके सर.
नहीं, अच्छा इसमें एक और चीज है. ओके, दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग. एक्सपोर्ट क्यों करना चाहिए, कोई बता सकता है? व्हाई इज एक्सपोर्ट इंपॉर्टेंट? यहाँ पे अपने को गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट नहीं करती है, स्वदेशी 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 बोलती है, लेकिन बाय क्या, मेक लोकल बाय लोकल, करेक्ट?
यस.
ओके, व्हाई शुड वी promote imports and exports? Can somebody?
सर इंपोर्ट्स और एक्सपोर्ट्स करने से हमारी जो फार्मा इंडस्ट्री है उसे ग्रोथ करने में भी चांसेस ज्यादा मिलेंगे, और बाहर की मेडिसिन ज्यादा महंगी होती है एज कम्पेयर टू आवर्स, तो हमें हमारे मेडिसिन को ज्यादा प्रेफरेंस भी मिल सकता है, लेकिन ये सस्ते होने की वजह से शायद वो गवर्नमेंट अलाउ नहीं करते.
Agreed. सर माझ्याकडे 15 मिनिटं आहेत का थोरात सर?
सर आणि बाहेरच्या इंडस्ट्री
मी थोडं वाढवू शकतो का सेशन?
Yes, we have 15 minutes. You can.
स्टुडंट्सची तयारी असेल तर मी
आहे सर, आहे.
Yes, sir, you can.
क्या सर क्या?
Let us take a simple example. Yeah, let us take a simple example. There are two brothers. ठीक है, ये दो भाई कुछ काम करते हैं, अपने लिए वैल्यू बनाते हैं करके अपना अपना बिजनेस शुरू करते हैं. एक जन शुरू करता है वड़ा पाव का बिजनेस, एक जन शुरू करता है भजी पाव का बिजनेस. ठीक है, आमने सामने बैठे हुए हैं. जो वड़ा पाव वाला पर्सन है उसके पास एक कस्टमर आता है और 10 रुपए का वड़ा पाव खरीदता है. ठीक है, तो जो पर्सन वड़ा पाव वाला पर्सन है उसका इनकम कितना हो गया?
10
करेक्ट, उसके पास आ गए 10 रुपए. ठीक है, ये उसका नेट रेवेन्यू नहीं, इसका मेन ग्रॉस रेवेन्यू हो गया. अब वो 10 रुपए लेके अपने भाई के पास जाता है और एक भजी पाव खरीदता है, खा लेता है. जो उसका भजी पाव वाला भाई है वो 1 घंटे के बाद जाके अपने भाई के पास से वड़ा पाव लेके 10 रुपए देके वड़ा पाव खा लेता है. 1 घंटे के बाद वही 10 रुपए लेके वड़ा पाव वाला भजी पाव वाले के पास जाता है और भजी पाव खा लेता है. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे दोनों का माल खत्म हो गया, बराबर?
Yes.
ठीक है, वड़ा पाव भी खत्म हो गया, भजी पाव भी खत्म हो गए, लेकिन दोनों भाइयों में नेट अर्निंग कितना हुआ? 10 रुपए. 10 रुपए. तो उनका माल भी बिक गया और टोटल 10 रुपए दोनों के बीच में कमाए हुए. अनलेस एंड अनटिल आप अपने प्रोडक्ट्स को बाहर नहीं बेचोगे तब तक आपकी इकोनॉमी नहीं बढ़ेगी। ये आप मूल समझ लो। अब जब आप बाहर के कंट्री में आपका प्रोडक्ट डालने की कोशिश कर रहे हो तो उसके यहां से भी आपको थोड़ी चीजें खरीदनी ही पड़ेंगी। ऐसा तो होगा नहीं ना कि वो बोलेगा आइए आप सारा माल डाल दीजिए।
No.
And that is why there are some things known as trade agreements. This is a very basic concept that I'm talking to you of exports. In international markets, the model of the sales process remains the same, but the model slightly changes. If you want, if the people are interested in pharma exports, we can have another session some other time where I can elaborate on the different models that we work on. Today is an overview. But have you understood the importance of exports?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I gave you a very crude example, but this is a correct example. I didn't hear you properly. निखिल, आवाज येत नाहीये.
निखिल, you can type your in chat box. आवाज येत नाही तुझा निखिल. चॅट बॉक्स मध्ये टाक क्वेश्चन.
मला चॅट बॉक्स बघता येत नाही. ठीक आहे, पण निखिलचा प्रश्न आला की मला सांगा. I belong to the sales and marketing side. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
जेव्हा
So-
आपण इम्पोर्ट्स आणि एक्सपोर्ट्स बघतो फार्माचे, त्या टाइमला कंपल्शन किती असतं? म्हणजे आपण एवढ्याचं जर आपलं मेडिसिन बाहेर सेल करतोय तर किती
मला निखिल तुझा पहिला पार्ट ऐकू आला, त्याच्यानंतरचं काहीच ऐकू आलं नाही.
हॅलो सर.
हॅलो, हा बोल.
सर, जेव्हा आपण इंटरनॅशनल मार्केटमध्ये मेडिसिन ट्रेड करतो तेव्हा आपण तुम्ही म्हणला ना त्यांच्याकडून पण थोड्या गोष्टी इम्पोर्ट करायला लागतात. म्हणजे आता समजा आपण 2 करोड किंवा 3 करोडच्या मेडिसिन एक्सपोर्ट करतोय तर त्यांच्याकडून आपल्याला कुठल्या गोष्टी इम्पोर्ट कराव्या लागतील?
ते तसं नसतं. त्याला एक खरं ट्रेड डेफिसिट म्हणून गव्हर्नमेंट कॅल्क्युलेट करते की त्या कंट्रीकडनं आपल्याकडे किती माल आला आणि आपण त्यांना किती दिला. त्याच्यामध्ये फक्त फार्मा असं नसतं. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल आता टांझानिया आहे तर त्यांच्याकडे आपण 10 गोष्टी टाकतो आणि तिकडून मग टांझानाईट, मिनरल्स, चिकपीस म्हणजे ते कोणती दाल, ते दाल पल्सेस वगैरे आपण तिकडून इम्पोर्ट करतो.
ओके ओके सर, थँक्यू.
आणि प्रत्येक ट्रान्झॅक्शन मध्ये ना दोन्हीकडचे गव्हर्नमेंट जे आहेत त्यांना एक स्पेसिफिक टॅक्स जातो. ठीक आहे, इम्पोर्ट टॅक्स आणि एक्सपोर्ट. एक्सपोर्टला आपल्याला बेनिफिट्स मिळतात आणि इम्पोर्टला टॅक्स लागतो. गव्हर्नमेंट
Okay,
वॉन्ट्स
sir.
यू टू एक्सपोर्ट. गव्हर्नमेंट विल ऑलवेज लाईक यू टू एक्सपोर्ट बिकॉज तुम्ही बाहेरचा पैसा आतमध्ये आणताय. तर आपल्याला इन्सेंटिव्ह असतात, बेनिफिट्स असतात कुठलाही प्रोडक्ट एक्सपोर्ट करायला. पण इम्पोर्ट करताना गव्हर्नमेंट त्याच्यावर ड्युटी लावते.
सर एक्सपोर्ट
thank you,
मध्ये
sir.
जीएसटी रिटर्न भेटतो का?
हा,
एक्सपोर्ट आपण सपोज एखादी मेडिसिन हॅलो,
हा बोला.
एखादी मेडिसिन एक्सपोर्ट केली तर इंडियामध्ये त्याला जीएसटी लागतो आणि जर एक्सपोर्ट केले तर तो जीएसटी रिटर्न भेटतो का आपल्याला?
जीएसटी लागत नाही का, पण ड्युटी वेवर मिळतो आणि see, GST is goods and service tax for India.
Okay.
ठीक है? That has replaced VAT. That is value added tax. So whenever the product is sold, a certain percentage goes to the government. Whenever there's a transaction, in exports, the transaction is international.
Okay.
Government says, gives us benefit. म्हणजे in fact, जेवढी व्हॅल्यू इंडियामध्ये येते ना,
हा.
in terms of money, त्याच्यावर पण आपल्याला थोडं गव्हर्नमेंट बेनिफिट देते. एक तर ड्युटी कमी करते
ओके.
आणि एक इन्सेंटिव्ह स्कीम पण असते.
अच्छा.
आणि गव्हर्नमेंट एक्सपोर्ट्समध्ये कुठं कमवते, तर जेव्हा आपण ती मेडिसिन बनवतो तेव्हा आपण रॉ मटेरियल परचेस करतो. तर जेव्हा आपण रॉ मटेरियल परचेस करतोय ते लोकलीच परचेस करणारे आपण, तर त्याच्यावर गव्हर्नमेंट आधीच जीएसटी घेतलेली असते त्यांनी. मग जे मॅन्युफॅक्चरिंग तिकडे होत असतं त्यांना पगार दिला जातो. पगारातनं प्रोफेशनल टॅक्स वगैरे आधीच गव्हर्नमेंटला मिळालेला असतो. मग जे आपण तिकडून पोर्टला आपण ट्रान्सपोर्ट करतो, तर ते ट्रान्सपोर्टचे पण आपण पैसे देतो, त्यात पण त्यांना जीएसटी मिळते. सो गव्हर्नमेंट अर्न्स in a secondary manner, not the primary manner. पोर्टला कस्टम क्लिअरन्सला जे आपण एजंट बनवतो त्याचा जो पगार निघतो त्याच्यामध्ये त्यालाही टॅक्स पडतो.
ओके.
सो गव्हर्नमेंट अर्न्स इन अन इनडायरेक्ट वे इन एक्सपोर्ट्स.
ओके. थँक्यू.
जे ते वेअर हाऊसिंगला चार्जेस लागतात. सो गव्हर्नमेंट अर्न्स आउट ऑफ एक्सपोर्ट्स, but it gives you incentives to export. Also, one more thing that happens in exports is whenever you're exporting in pharma, the export standards are very high.
Yes, sir.
So the industry also develops. म्हणजे ज्या प्लांट मधनं आपण एक्सपोर्ट करतोय ना, तो मग it will maintain the plant at that international standard. So Indian standards may not be that high, but since he is exporting from that plant, he ensures that the plant remains up to the international standards. So he may be manufacturing, let's say 20% for exports, but the remaining domestic 80% that he'll manufacture at those standards only. So it benefits us also indirectly. Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I come from the marketing and sales side. I was a salesperson earlier, then shifted to marketing. Now, there are subtle differences. In sales, let's talk about this side first. Sales is execution and feedback. For the sales guy, he has to take directions from the head office. He is basically based on the field. As they say, me field person ahe. He is on the field side. He takes the strategies, he takes the communication from the head office and goes and implements. He is a communicator. He is concerned with numbers. Basically, he's got a target of 100 rupees. As simple as that. माझा टारगेट 100 रुपए है, मेरा टारगेट 100 रुपया है, मुझे वो करना है. कैसे करना है वो बाद में देखेंगे. He is responsible for the territory. You are all from Pune. So let's say as a representative, माझी टेरिटरी आहे हिंगणे, माझी टेरिटरी आहे वाकड, माझी टेरिटरी आहे हिंजेवाडी. As a sales manager, माझी टेरिटरी आहे पुणे किंवा माझी टेरिटरी आहे महाराष्ट्र, माझी टेरिटरी आहे वेस्टर्न महाराष्ट्र, माझी टेरिटरी आहे विदर्भ, माझी टेरिटरी आहे वेस्टर्न इंडिया, माझी टेरिटरी आहे ऑल इंडिया. माझी टेरिटरी आहे नैरोबी, माझी टेरिटरी आहे केनिया, माझी टेरिटरी आहे दार एस सलाम, माझी टेरिटरी आहे टंजानिया, माझी टेरिटरी आहे ईस्ट आफ्रिका, माझी टेरिटरी आहे आफ्रिका. He is responsible for that territory. He has got full freedom to take decisions. Full freedom. डॉक्टर के पास क्या बोलना है, कैसे बोलना है, उसको कितने में स्टॉक्स देने हैं, कितना डिस्काउंट करना है, किसको स्पॉन्सर करना है, कौन से एरिया में काम करना है, कितना सेल जनरेट करना है, कौन सा स्टॉकिस्ट बनाना है, कौन सा ऑर्डर लगाना है. इट इज his independent decision making. He is the king of the territory. And he has the highest accountability. He is appraised every month end. सेल्समॅनचं माहिती आहे ना, प्रत्येक महिन्याला टार्गेट बघितलं जातं, किती केलंय, उसका कितना टारगेट हुआ है, ये हर महीने इवैल्यूएट होता है. अब उसने अगर टारगेट नहीं किया है तो उसके साथ क्या होगा? कोई बता सकता है?
रिडक्शन इन इंसेंटिव्स.
ना मेरे भाई, टारगेट नहीं किया तो इंसेंटिव 0 है.
फायर.
सिंपल सिंपल. इफ यू कांट डू इट, समबडी एल्स विल डू इट. और अगर उसने बहुत ज्यादा टारगेट कर लिया तो क्या होता है?
प्रमोशन.
इंसेंटिव और प्रमोशन. अगर कंपनी प्रमोशन नहीं देती है तो दूसरी कंपनी प्रमोशन देती है. समझ रहे हो? इसीलिए सेल्स में एट्रिशन बहुत ज्यादा होता है. या तो निकम्मा रिप्रेजेंटेटिव है तो वो एज अ रिप्रेजेंटेटिव 10 कंपनी घूमता रहेगा, और अगर वो परफॉर्मर है तो वो हर बार एक प्रमोशन और इंक्रीमेंट लेगा या फिर कंपनी शिफ्ट करेगा. ये बहुत सिंपल सा कैलकुलेशन है, इसमें कोई डीप एनालिसिस नहीं है. ऑन द अदर साइड, आप जहां पे स्ट्रेटेजी, ब्रांडिंग वैंडिंग की बात करते हो, ये होता है हेड ऑफिस बेस्ड पर्सन, जैसे कि मैं हूं या मेरी टीम है. वी आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर, वी हैव आवर टारगेट्स, but we are responsible for brands. For example, a salesperson will say, will have a target of 100 rupees. वो अभी A ब्रांड से करे, B ब्रांड से करे, C ब्रांड से करे, उसको उतना मतलब नहीं है. वो बोलेगा मेरा टारगेट 100 रुपए का था, मैं जैसे करूं मैं करूंगा, बिकॉज ही हैज गॉट इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजन मेकिंग. वो 100 रुपए कर रहा है, परफेक्टली ओके. हेड ऑफिस में ब्रांड वाइज टारगेट्स होते हैं. जो प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर होता है या ब्रांड मैनेजर होता है, उसके पास एक सेट ऑफ ब्रांड्स होते हैं, उसको मार्केट शेयर के साथ लिंक किया जाता है. उसका टारगेट होता है कि मेरे को 2% मार्केट शेयर करना है, 3% मार्केट शेयर करना है, और उसको अपने फील्ड स्टाफ, दैट इज सेल्स वाले पर्सन के थ्रू अपने टारगेट्स को अचीव करना है. ये सुनने में बहुत बढ़िया होता है, बट प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, व्हेन यू आर इन द ऑफिस, यू आर सिटिंग right outside your boss का केबिन. ऑन द फील्ड आपका मैनेजर आपके साथ महीने में हफ्ता भर काम करेगा, बाकी आपको जो करना है आप करिए. ऑफिस में आप मैनेजर के बाहर बैठे हुए हो, मैनेजर के इनसाइड बैठे हुए हो. आपके पास कोई इंडिपेंडेंट डिसीजन मेकिंग की पावर नहीं है. आप कोई स्ट्रेटेजी अगर बनाते हो तो आपका बॉस, उसका बॉस, उसका बॉस उस पे हाँ या ना बोलेगा. आपके पास कोई एबिलिटी नहीं है डिसीजन मेक करने की. आप समझ रहे हो? एडवांटेज ये है कि आपको साल में 1 या 2 बार ही अप्रेज किया जाता है. इट इज अ लेसर strenuous job as compared to a field job, but field job gives you the option of staying in your city and being independent. Head office 9 to 5, you are in charge of brands and you cannot take your own decisions. Head office के frustrations ज्यादा होते हैं, स्ट्रेस फील्ड में ज्यादा होते हैं. स्ट्रेस और फ्रस्ट्रेशंस का डिफरेंसेस मे बी सम अदर टाइम. आप डोमेस्टिक काम करो या इंटरनेशनल काम करो, the essence of sales and marketing remain the same. What are the not so conventional career options? Is this clear? Have I been able to explain the difference between these two profiles?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. किसको नहीं समझा है? Mayuri, you had a query?
Okay, we'll move to next slide, sir, because we are having time short up.
Okay. The other career options in terms of pharma and allied fields are medical transcription. Pune is a major hub after Bangalore. You can be a data manager, market research organizations. The data that we saw in the Indian and the pharma market are compiled by data organizations. You can work there. One of my colleague in office, she has worked in a similar domain. There are specialty companies that do consultancies for pharma. You've got IT companies now, digital marketing. आप देखते हो ना ये 1mg.com, and even on Amazon, you will find pharma stores. You can become a medical underwriter. These are clinical research organizations who are doing the back work for insurance. जहाँ से insurance claims आते हैं, उसको evaluate करके sign करने के लिए you can do medical writing, which is like medical transcription but slightly different. You can become a medical advisor, or you can get into academics as well. I have been in academics. I was a colleague with Thorat sir at Sinhagad for about, I think, 1 semester as a professor. The newer age is more related to the IT side. Please look at this intellectual property right. Pharma people, please do an additional course for intellectual property rights. It is available in Pune University. The course is about 4 months. It is available in Pumba. This course will give you a lateral entry into the legal side of pharma business. Huge manpower requirement, very low standard people available or skilled resources available for this. The same course will also give you pharmacovigilance details. What I am recommending to pharma management people, not all, people who have done pharma and who have done the management, to do a short course in possibly regulatory affairs, intellectual property rights, and pharmacovigilance. Do these courses. Before I close, let me just say that a person is only limited by their imagination. When I was preparing these slides, possibly about 2 or 3 years back, I suddenly realized that there were so many fields that I had not evaluated that I could have been in. There are still many more opportunities for a pharma person that are not mentioned here. You will have to find, you're mature enough, go find them. This was told to me by one Mr. K.V. Deshmukh. Now, what are our expectations? That is, what are the industry expectations from our side for a management student? I could say punctuality, go-getter attitude, you should be social, excellent communication skills. You know that. You know that. What we expect from, or rather the pharma industry expects from candidate is strong core management knowledge. Pharma is one sector which trains you. There is a 21-day training, 14-day training, 7-day training, 2-day crash courses. We train you and make you customized for our organizations. But what we need is a strong person who has got at least that management core. One, management core to execute, and second, at a later stage, management core to plan, strategize. तो जब पहले आप एंटर करोगे तो आप में वो क्षमता होनी चाहिए जो आपके स्ट्रैटेजीज हैं उनको इंप्लीमेंट करने के, और बाद में वो क्षमता होनी चाहिए कि इंप्लीमेंटेबल स्ट्रैटेजीज प्लान करने के लिए। आप में मैच्योरिटी चाहिए और आप में प्रैग्मेटिज्म चाहिए। बाय मैच्योरिटी आई मीन the ability to see the larger picture. D.V. Banerjee, we have heard him before, has clearly said theory comes from the observation and evaluation of practice. So better learn it to gain wider experience. What he means is, जो आप theory पढ़ रहे हो, वो जो practice किया जा रहा है उसी को देख के बनाई गई है। अब आपके पास प्रैक्टिकली जॉब नहीं है, ना ही आप एंटरप्रेन्योर हो, तो क्यों नहीं ये थियोरी पढ़ के वो प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस लो। एटलीस्ट जब आप उसको एग्जीक्यूट करने जाओगे तो आपको ये तो पता होगा कि सही कैसे इसको इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, या जो आप इंप्लीमेंट कर रहे हो उसमें गलतियां कहाँ आ रही हैं वो आप जान सकोगे अगर आप आपकी थियोरी प्रॉपरली करोगे तो। और यही मैच्योरिटी कहलाता है। I have seen in my career many people say मुझे सब मालूम है। सबसे बड़ा मैंने स्टेटमेंट सुना है, साला ये मेरा बॉस कैसे बन गया, ये कंपनी बेकार है। You know the funny part, साला ये मेरा बॉस कैसे बन गया is the most common, क्या कहते हैं, complaint that we hear from employees. आप ये समझ लो अगर वो बॉस आपका गधा है तो आप उसको रिपोर्ट कर रहे हो तो आपकी स्टैंडिंग पे देख लो, एंड नोबडी इज बाउंड यू टू इट। कंपनी बेकार है, आप वो कंपनी के लिए 2 साल काम कर रहे हो तो क्या 2 साल का एक्सपीरियंस आपका वेस्ट हो गया? नेगेटिव और पॉजिटिव आपके हाथ में है एस्पेक्ट्स रखने के लिए। What we need are effective people. Personally, I am more interested in having an effective person who is also efficient. Efficiency, you may be highly efficient, but you are not effective, doesn't make sense. In an organization that wants to grow, people don't want employees who are sweet speaking. People don't want people who are like secretaries. We need people who can deliver results. You may be an excellent person, you may be modest, you may not say a single bad word, you may not have a single bad habit, but if you're not able to deliver results, then maybe you're not meant to be there. You may have excellent subject knowledge, you may have excellent plans, you may have excellent strategies, but if you're not able to communicate those plans, if you're not able to convert those plans into executable small strategies, it is of no use. Mr. Kamal Babbar simply says mere possession of a degree qualifies you for the job, but is not sufficient to claim it. You may be highly efficient, but you're useless if you're not effective. If you're not able to deliver, you are not required, sir. There's no emotion to it. Everybody has a numerical target. If you are into regulatory, you will have a target of these many number of registrations in X number of countries to be done at the end of the year. If you are into logistics, you will have X number of transports to be done within an X period of time at the end of the year. These are all numbers. Numbers are understood and evaluated better. I personally have also, when I check for candidature, I also check intent and content. A person is the same as effectiveness and efficiency. A person may have all the content qualifying for the job, But if there is no intent to work for that job, then it's not needed. A person spends 6 hours out of 10 hours trying to hone their skills to become better. That is intent. He may not have the content, but he's got that intent to improve. It's perfectly okay. We are there to guide. A person spends 4 hours just backbiting, bitching, complaining out of 8 hours. Excellent content, but no intent to deliver, not needed. Warn him, give them an appraisal, tell it to them on their face. Doesn't improve, please vacate the seat for somebody with more intent. These are simple numerical calls. This has got nothing to do with emotions. My biggest take-home message to you guys is have a mentor. Not a guru, please. Guru means you have to become subservient. Namaskar, aapne jo kaha wo pani hai ye. No, have a mentor. A person who is able to tell you how it is. Not soothsay. Be solution oriented. Flexibility in approach. If you have to go to Delhi tomorrow, you have to go to Delhi. Initiative. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. The remaining, you all know. But the first one, have a mentor. Have it. Find one. Find one. How to find is a separate session. Now the names that I have taken, first is Kamal Babbar. He's my current boss. So I think I shared, he's on the top because he's my current boss. He makes sure that I get my money at the end of the month. So he's number one. Debrat Banerjee was my first boss. You can call him my mentor. He has been instrumental in shaping my career. Whatever I know of my domestic markets, or the way I communicate, or the way I handle my team is him. KV Deshmukh was my first sales manager. I was 27 and SBU head at that time, and he was 55. Within 2 months, we were possibly the closest of buddies. We had 5 products amongst the top 5 in Indian markets in our category. And late T.S. Balasubramaniam was again a general manager who was handling marketing and sales for my ophthalmic division based out of Bombay. Loved me as a son. He was 62 when he retired. I will close this session from my side by saying, learn to take decisions. I am not saying they will be right, they will be wrong. Evaluate and take the call. What have you got to lose? नौकरी चले जाएगी ना, at your stage, no problem. Own up to the consequences. मेरे से गलती हुई ठीक है, लेकिन मैंने decision लिया. Don't be worried. If you've got the right mentor, he will back you. Learn to take decisions. Don't be afraid. You are young. And I leave you with this screen. Things are changing. And this is by NM. I do not know who NM is. But learn from all your bosses. Every bosses will have positives and negatives. There will be more positives because they are your bosses. Your teachers are there because they are teachers. They have gone through your stages. They know more than you. Don't doubt that. Learn, fight with them, make them mentors. I'm not saying make them gurus. जहाँ पे वो जो बोले वो सब हमको चलेगा नहीं. A right mentor will allow you to take situational leadership. He'll allow you to make mistakes. He will guide you. He will also let you voice your opinion. But find a person. Finding a mentor is important. Find him and then follow him. Don't blindly follow him. Follow him. I open the forum. I am sorry if I've taken up some time of yours, but I open up the forum. You can ask me any queries if you have.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, why Dolo is so famous in India?
Why?
Why Dolo is so famous in India?
Okay, Dolo is a product that is prescribed by doctors. Crocin is not. Calpol is a product that is prescribed by doctors. Crocin is not. So the first patients of COVID who came out.
My question is why this doctor prescribed Dolo only? Why not other?
Dolo is a
Sir,
brand.
आवाज नहीं आ रहा है sir. Sir, your voice is not there.
Okay, so Dolo has been made a brand by the representative of that company.
Sir, your voice is not clear. No, sir, not clear voice.
You're not audible.
Am I clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dolo is a brand that has been made by the company representatives. Micro is a huge company. There are about 4,000 medical representatives in the field. So they meet the doctors and they tell the doctors that whenever you prescribe paracetamol, please prescribe Dolo.
Okay.
So initially and Dolo is also available across India at every pharmacy store.
Right.
So when a doctor prescribes Dolo, he's sure that the patient will get that Dolo. And now with home quarantine, if somebody has got COVID, he will call up a person who already had COVID. He will say, I've got Dolo and it is available at the retail store. So he gets it.
Okay, thank you.
You have to give credit to Micro for making Dolo a big brand.
Yes, sir. Actually, I work with Micro team, that's why I asked.
Okay, so you are working on an effervescent form of paracetamol, that is Dolo effervescent.
Not
Right
yes. Now I'm working, but previous I worked with them.
Okay. So I was in charge of that project with the company that was doing effervescent Dolo for Micro.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Any queries? The details are the files from which the data of our international and domestic market has been taken. I am sharing it immediately with Mr. Thorat. You can collect it from, and if anybody wants some kind of guidance, they are free to contact me, preferably on the weekends. My number can be received from him. Am I audible to you guys?
Yes, sir. What the break होता है, sir?
Okay. Any query from my side or from your side that I can clarify?
No, sir.
No. Okay, it was a very nice session, sir. Nishant sir, a very informative session, and the students will definitely be benefited out of this session. And as you said, there are also few more points or topics which can be discussed in details.
Correct.
So in next sessions, again, whatever points you are thinking that can be shared, we'll definitely plan for next sessions. We'll arrange one more session in coming months, and we'll have more interaction with you, sir. It was very nice. So on behalf of all the students and on behalf of Lotus Business School, I thank you, sir. Thank you once again.
My suggestion, I'm giving it to the public in large, is this side contains about 22 students for pharma.
Yeah.
Instead of having a generalized session, these people can have an advanced session as well.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And for the others, another customized session can be done, talking of how they can gain entry into the pharma side.
Yes, definitely. Yes, we'll speak in detail, sir. We have also modules for the students.
Correct.
So
Correct.
yes, I will call you, sir. We'll have detailed discussions on that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
So thank you, sir. Students, any question? Should you close, students? Hello, students.
Sir, give a
Right.
round of applause for
Yes,
sir.
yes. Give a big clap. Yeah, it was a very nice session, sir.
Big clap to you guys for sitting for so long.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
All right. Perfect. Take care.
Okay.
Keep progressing, all of you. All the best.
Thank you so
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank